Your check engine light turns on, you scan the car, and the code P0500 shows up. At first glance, it doesn't seem like a big deal. The car still runs, the engine sounds normal, and nothing feels completely broken. But P0500 is one of those codes that can quietly affect multiple systems at the same time, which is why it should never be ignored. P0500 means there is a problem with the vehicle speed signal. In simple terms, the car's computers are no longer receiving accurate information about how fast the vehicle is moving. This signal usually comes from the vehicle speed sensor, often called the VSS, or from wheel speed data shared through the network. Modern vehicles rely heavily on speed data. It's not just for the speedometer. The engine control module, transmission control module, ABS system, traction control, and even cruise control all depend on accurate speed information. When that data becomes unreliable or disappears, multiple systems can start behaving incorrectly. One of the most common symptoms of P0500 is a speedometer that doesn't work or behaves erratically. It may drop to zero, jump randomly, or lag behind actual vehicle speed. Cruise control may stop working completely, and automatic transmissions may shift harshly, late, or not at all. But here's the key thing to understand. P0500 does not automatically mean the speed sensor itself is bad. Just like many other diagnostic trouble codes, P0500 is often a wiring, signal, or communication issue. Vehicle speed sensors typically generate a signal based on rotation. Some are magnetic, some are Hall effect sensors, and others rely on wheel speed sensors feeding data through control modules. If the signal is interrupted, distorted, or missing, the computer sets P0500. One of the first things to check is wiring. Speed sensor wiring is often exposed to harsh conditions. Road debris, heat, moisture, and vibration can damage insulation, corrode connectors, or break wires internally. Even a small amount of corrosion inside a connector can weaken the signal enough to trigger this code. Another common cause is poor power or ground. Speed sensors rely on clean reference voltage and solid ground connections. A weak ground or unstable voltage can cause the signal to drop out intermittently, which can be very difficult to catch without live data. Battery voltage also plays a role. Low system voltage can confuse multiple modules at once, especially those sharing speed information across the vehicle network. This is why checking battery condition and charging system health is always a smart early step in diagnosis. Aftermarket modifications can also trigger P0500. Larger tires, different gear ratios, or poorly installed aftermarket components can affect speed calculations. In some cases, the sensor is working correctly, but the data no longer matches what the computer expects. Live data is your best friend when diagnosing P0500. Instead of guessing, you can monitor vehicle speed data in real time. Compare reported speed with actual road speed. Watch for dropouts, spikes, or delays in the signal. If speed suddenly drops to zero while the vehicle is clearly moving, that's a strong clue pointing toward a signal interruption. It's also important to check for related codes. ABS or traction control codes often appear alongside P0500. These systems share wheel speed data, and a failure in one area can cascade into others. Diagnosing the entire system instead of focusing on a single code can save a lot of time and money. In some vehicles, the transmission uses speed data to determine shift timing and torque converter operation. When that data is missing or incorrect, the transmission may enter a default or limp mode. This can feel like a serious transmission problem, when, in reality, the root cause is a faulty speed signal. Replacing the speed sensor without testing is a common mistake. Sensors are relatively inexpensive compared to major repairs, but unnecessary part replacement adds up quickly and often fails to fix the issue. Testing wiring, checking connectors, and verifying signal integrity should always come first. A simple visual inspection can reveal a lot. Look for damaged wires, loose connectors, and signs of moisture intrusion. Wiggle testing the harness while watching live data can sometimes expose intermittent faults that only occur under certain conditions. If testing confirms that power, ground, and wiring are all good, and the sensor signal is missing or unstable, then replacement may be justified. At that point, you're making a data-driven decision, not a guess. P0500 is a perfect example of why modern diagnostics is about information, not assumptions. The code is not telling you to replace a part. It's telling you that the system no longer trusts the speed data it's receiving. When approached correctly, P0500 is often a straightforward fix. When approached blindly, it can lead to unnecessary repairs and frustration. Always diagnose first, understand the system, and fix the root cause. Taking the time to test properly saves money and prevents unnecessary repairs. Before replacing parts, check our channel for more diagnostic tips and real-world fixes. FixCarCodes helps you understand the problem before you spend your money.